Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss expenditure method. So let's start from expenditure method. So expenditure are always on. Expenditure are always on market price. Expenditure are always on market price. So how many sectors who are doing expenditure in a economy or in a market? So there are 4 sectors who are doing expenditure in a market. The first one is household sector. Second, government sector. Third, producer sector. Fourth, rest of the world. So there are 4 sectors who are doing expenditure in a market. Household sector, private, final, consumption, expenditure. Government, final, consumption, expenditure. Producer, gross, domestic, capital, formation, and the rest of the world, net exports, which is equal to export minus import. So generally there are 4 sectors who are doing expenditure in a market. The first one is household sector, second government sector, third producer sector, and the fourth one is rest of the world. Okay, so now we will discuss the theory of expenditure method. So our household sector and government sector comes under final consumption expenditure. Final consumption expenditure. Okay, so I will write here private final consumption expenditure, PFCE, private final consumption expenditure. Government final consumption expenditure. Private final consumption expenditure, the expenditure by household. And government final consumption expenditure, the expenditure by government. For example, expenditure on education, expenditure on defense. So it will come in final consumption expenditure. Okay, तो यहाँ तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएगी. It's a very easy. Final consumption expenditure divided into 2 parts. The first one is private final consumption expenditure and the second one government final consumption expenditure. In second point, we will discuss gross domestic capital formation. ध्यान से समझना इसको. Gross domestic capital formation. Capital formation, it means investment in a market. Okay, capital formation means investment in a market. gross domestic capital formation, net domestic capital formation plus depreciation. If gross domestic capital formation is not given in a question, then find pick up net domestic capital formation plus depreciation, and at last you will reach at the gross domestic capital formation. And the second, gross fixed capital formation plus change in stock. Okay, if net domestic capital formation and gross domestic capital formation are not given in your question, then pick up gross fixed capital formation and plus change in the stock. You will reach at gross domestic capital formation, and we will write as a short form gross domestic capital formation. Okay, so now what is gross fixed capital formation? Gross fixed capital formation means fixed investment. The first one, residential construction work, second, business fixed investment, third, fixed investment on public. Okay, fixed public investment. Okay, investment on public या public investment. So gross fixed capital formation, it's divided into three parts. The first one is residential construction work. Okay, residential construction work is household sector. Okay, business fixed investment, producer, and public investment by government. Okay, so these are fixed investment which are done by household sector, producer, and government. Okay, so if gross fixed capital formation is not given directly, then find residential construction work, business fixed investment, and public investment. So add these three contents and you will reach gross fixed capital formation. Or at last, net exports, which is equal to X minus M. Okay, which is equal to X minus M. Now, sometime examiner will confuse you like as excess of exports over imports. Excess of exports over imports. Net export is equal to export minus import. Okay, so excess of exports over imports, it means exports हमारे ज्यादा हैं और imports कम हैं. तो let us suppose कि we have export 30 and imports 20. So our net exports कितना आएगा? 10. Okay, net export कितना आएगा? 10. And sometime examiner will also confuse you. Excess of imports over export. It means our imports is more than export. Let us suppose your import is 30 minus our export is, let us suppose our import is 30 and export is 20. So export 20 and import 30, it will come in minus 10, because our import, I assume import 30 and export 20, or in this example I suppose export 30 and import 20. So when we will discuss excess of exports over imports, then net export is equal to 10, and excess of imports over export, then it will come in minus 10. Private final consumption expenditure plus government final consumption expenditure plus gross domestic capital formation, gross domestic capital formation plus net exports, which is equal to export minus imports. Okay, so जब हम ग्रॉस डोमेस्टिक प्रोडक्ट एट मार्केट प्राइस, इट मींस कि मेरी इंडिया की इकोनॉमी में, मेरी डोमेस्टिक इकोनॉमी में कितना एक्सपेंडिचर हो रहा है, कैसे फाइंड आउट करेंगे? बहुत इजी है. प्राइवेट फाइनल कंजप्शन एक्सपेंडिचर प्लस गवर्नमेंट फाइनल कंजप्शन एक्सपेंडिचर प्लस ग्रॉस डोमेस्टिक कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन प्लस नेट एक्सपोर्ट. अब हम ग्रॉस डोमेस्टिक प्रोडक्ट एट मार्केट प्राइस से नेट नेशनल प्रोडक्ट एट फैक्टर कॉस्ट पे जाएंगे. मींस हम नेट नेशनल प्रोडक्ट एट फैक्टर कॉस्ट फाइंड आउट करेंगे. कैसे करेंगे? नेट नेशनल प्रोडक्ट एट फैक्टर कॉस्ट इज इक्वल टू ग्रॉस डोमेस्टिक प्रोडक्ट एट मार्केट प्राइस. जब हम ग्रॉस से नेट पे जाएंगे तब माइनस डेप्रिसिएशन. डोमेस्टिक से जब हम नेशनल पे जाएंगे, डोमेस्टिक से जब नेशनल पे जाएंगे प्लस NIFA. मार्केट प्राइस से जब हम फैक्टर कॉस्ट पे जाएंगे माइनस NIT, नेट इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स. और एट लास्ट वी विल रीच एट NNP at FC. So it's our expenditure method, means private final consumption expenditure plus government final consumption expenditure plus gross domestic capital formation plus net export is equal to GDP MP. Or when we going from gross domestic product at market price to net national product at factor cost is equal to GDP MP minus depreciation plus NIFA minus NIT, or at last we will reach at NNP FC. Okay, thank you.